Hi, I'm Leo, All City Italy on Twitter, and you're watching the Kitcast by All City Cakes.
Thanks, Leo. Welcome to the Kitcast, where we take an in-depth look at Tigers apparel, past and present, and also look at the wider goings-on of the kit universe. The 2019-2020 third kit by Umbro goes on sale soon, and we're going to take a close look at the new third shirt. And later on I'll take a look at another third shirt, the 2014-2015 third shirt by Umbro. Before that, let's see what's news. So Mike, what's caught your attention?
Yeah, we started the season without a back of shirt sponsor. We've got used to seeing the Bareflex sign on the back there. At Swansea, when the images released of the kits in the changing rooms, we didn't have a back of shirt sponsor. That kind of was one of the first things that we all noticed. So that's kind of something that we've not really been accustomed to. As a shirt collector, it kind of creates us a bit of an awkward situation, trying to identify what would be classed as a match-worn shirt or a fake, if you like. With the club now putting the Mind logo on the replica shirts as well, that does kind of create us a little bit of an interesting twist, but we'll see how that goes as the season pans on. You know, it might be something that will appear. Also as well, we noticed Brentford away, we didn't have any amber alternate shorts, with us going with the black shorts as well. So, you know, talking about collectors' nightmares, we know we've all got amber shorts in our collection, and it's something that we kind of like as a little tick box exercise throughout the years. So yeah, that's a shame.
It's true. I'm a little bit attached to my my amber short collection. So Adam, what have you noticed?
I was really excited when Kappa had come back into the Premier League, and they've made such a horrible mess of Aston Villa's kits. The third kit that they've just released is absolutely disgusting. Here's a picture. What about you, Les?
Well, in Italy's Serie A, it's long been a tradition for the champions and cup winners to have a patch which denotes their status the following season. This year there's something slightly different. For 2019-2020, there's going to be 6 patches that are given to individual players to represent accolades. So there'll be one given to the most valuable player in the league the previous season. There's also going to be one for the best young player, the best goalkeeper, the best defender, the best midfielder, and also the Capo Cannoniere, the top scorer. Fabio Quagliarella of Sampdoria, he had his patch on for the away shirt for a Coppa Italia game at Crotone, and this is what it looked like. So Mike, what's new in your collection?
So I've just brought one with me today. So this is a, thanks Liz, 2016-17 home shirt issued to Abel Hernandez. Not had the opportunity to photo match it just yet, but hopefully I'll get around to that. So we'll call it issued for now, but it probably will have been worn with it being a home shirt and the amount of times that we wore that during that season.
There's some nice detailing on that Umbro there, so
yeah, there's a couple of markings on there. So
and also the amount of shirts Abel Hernandez gave away.
Well, yeah, you know, he was one for giving shirts away, wasn't he?
What about you?
I've brought 2 with me today. So the first one is a special WWF patch from the Sunderland game, and that one was worn by Kamil Grusicki, so quite a nice one to have. I don't have any Grusicki shirts at the moment, so that's the first one that I've got for him being an international superstar, Polish Ronaldo. Yeah, so I'm quite happy to have that one in the collection.
Signed by the full squad too.
Yeah, and then the second one I am ecstatic about having is from the Andy Dawson testimonial game before the Betis friendly. And that one was worn by Ben Burgess, so it's got the Dawson celebration on there and the Daisy Appeal patches on the front. So yeah, nice little pick up, that one.
Nicely.
And it also ticks off my Argentina Blue list that I have.
How many are you missing now?
Just the one. It's a Poppy shirt. I don't know who's got one of those though.
No.
Yeah, we'll see. What about yourself, Les?
Just the one for me. It is. I was saying recently that I've been struggling to get some of the white chain shirts. I seem to be putting that right at the moment. So this is the white and sulphur spring yellow third shirt from last season. And this was issued to Mark Pugh, who was on loan from Bournemouth last season. Now he's gone to QPR. Now we only played one game in this shirt while he was with City, and that was the 1-0 defeat at Middlesbrough in April. It's very difficult to say with any certainty that this was worn in that game, so I'm generally just going to say that this was issued, but it's got all of the things you'd expect on a match worn shirt. It's got the full size lettering, it's got the Skybet patches, and it's got the Bareflex back of shirt sponsor, which is missing from this season's shirt. So I'm going to say that's issued, that one, but still I'm delighted with it nonetheless. So it's time now to consider the 2019-2020 third kit by Umbro. It was released on Tuesday the 13th of August and it's now on sale. So let's take a close look at it. The new third kit is in a deep lagoon and medieval blue colourway, and also has amber trim, a tone that's called saffron gold. It is distinct from the amber, and you can tell because there's some contrast between the crest colour and the colour of the sleeve cuffs and what's on the collar. Described as being part of the iconic colours of Boothroyd Park, this was a description that had us scratching our heads a little bit, but then we remembered the famous photograph from the Homes of Football exhibition, which had the South Stand tickets hut, which was behind the South Stand, and that was an amber and black painted wooden shed, but part of it pulled down and it revealed a teal colourway. So clearly the shed had been teal before it had been painted amber and black. Those bits remained. Umbro have picked up on those, and that's what they've gone with for the colours. Initially only the shirt was seen on the launch images, but now we can contemplate the full kit, so let's take a look. So Mike, what do you make of the new third kit by Umbro?
The first thing that you notice is obviously the colour. I always like it when a club uses the opportunity to have a third shirt to kind of do something a little bit different than what they would normally do with the primary and secondary shirts. The way that we've kind of linked it back into a meaning of sort of history of the club, I think is really, really nice. The thing that was really striking to me is the collar, the neckline. It kind of looks like from a distance like it's got a bit of a polo collar to it. It does sort of have, in my opinion, it has the best of the three collars on the three shirts that we've got this season. I would be intrigued to see what it would look like with an amber name and numbering set if the EFL was to provide one. We'll probably just get one of the standard black or whites, but I just think that would be something that would really just add sort of to it. I like the shorts. I think that it would have been, if it'd been all the same colour, it kind of just breaks it up a little bit by having that sort of that medieval blue. So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts.
What do you think of the term medieval blue?
You throw me.
Okay, do you think it's a good colour to go jousting in maybe?
Quite possibly.
Do you think this shirt would go well with a chainmail perhaps?
I've gone.
So Adam, what do you think about it?
I absolutely love the shirt. Absolutely love it. The shorts, on the other hand, they're not for me. I don't think the colours match and go well together at all. I cannot wait to buy the shirt tomorrow. But I won't be buying the rest of the kit. I love that we've got the Umbro taping back on the shoulders. I think it would have been nice if the crest could have gone with the saffron of the cuffs and the neckline, but all in all I think it's a fantastic shirt and one that I can't wait to see us play in. Just not so keen on the shorts.
Okay.
I think the jousting can be done elsewhere outside of the cake.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think the deep lagoon, or teal if you prefer, it's such a, it might sound a bit weird saying this, but I think it's such a luxurious colour. It's such a rich regal colour. I absolutely love it. It strikes me as the kind of colour you'd get on maybe like a Roma away kit or a Real Madrid away kit. So this feels a little bit special to me. I really like it. I had envisaged that the shirt and shorts and the socks would all be the same, that it would be the deep lagoon colour with the amber trim, but I'll be honest, I'm okay with it. it's a combination that's both striking and a little bit odd, but also complementary as well. I think it does a little bit of both. I find it quite striking. So personally, I kind of like it. So I find it interesting that they've gone with the amber of the ticket shed in the photograph, rather than the amber that we use on home shirts. Now I've seen a couple of comments where people have said, oh, they couldn't be bothered to match it up, but it's just simply the case that, you know, they've gone with the colour from the image. Perhaps the club could have rendered the club crest in two-tone.
Yeah.
They could maybe have gone with the gold and saffron. But the problem with that is the tiger head, the stripes on it are so busy.
True.
I'm not quite sure that would have looked very good if it was rendered in two-tone.
There is the possibility of the saffron being used for the shorts, and that would have ticked off the amber shorts for the season. Just a thought to put out, but
yeah, I suppose with that though, if you're using the lighter amber, if you're then pairing that with the shorts, you might have a very different ambers, which could be problematic. But overall, I think it's an absolutely beautiful kit, and I think it completes a really good kit set from Umbro this season.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to head out over the weekend and pick one up. As with third shirts, they don't normally make as many of them as they do the home and away.
Very true.
So if it's something that you're sort of looking to get in your replica collection, I would probably advise doing that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, the club sort of treat third kits as almost like limited edition, because it's the shirt that they get in there, the most limited number. And usually when people say, oh, I'll get them after Christmas when they're reduced, well, usually they're all gone by then. So if you snooze, you lose with this one. So let's find out what Leo thinks about it.
I personally like this third shirt made by Umbro. It's molto bello, and can remind our days in Butferry Park, which in the 90s were painful, especially for Martin Fish, Terry Dolan. He had also The Great Escape, and ended in 2002.
Okay, now it's time for me to go all detailed on a previous third shirt. I'm going to take a look at the 2014-15 third shirt by Umbro. This white shirt by Umbro was a domestic third shirt, but when it was used in Europe for UEFA sanctioned competition, it was the change kit. The regular all-black change kit for the league wasn't registered with UEFA at all, so this was the change kit for any games Hull City played in Europe. Now, white and blue are regular change kit colours for Hull City. They tend to be used on a rotation with black as well. So this, by combining the two colours together, was a familiar look, but also a little bit different. It's a very pared back design. The shirt itself is just a plain white with a simple round collar. The contrast trim is just simply a thin sky blue hoop on the collar, and there was no corresponding hoop on the sleeves, which were cuffless. But what the sleeves did have was the word mark of supplier Umbro in a solid black lettering, which was heat bonded. Perhaps the most striking element of this shirt was the sponsor. City had done a deal with the Asian betting company 1-2bet, and their word mark was put on in two colours, in both black and in red, and above it it had the simplified Chinese text. The shirt used the Premier League applique, so it used the Premier League sleeve patches, and also on the back it used the full size player names and player numbers. But this was different when the club played in Europe. So this particular shirt was worn by Robbie Brady in a 0-0 draw at Anfield, but the shirt was also used at Newcastle United in a 2-2 draw, when there were some spectacular goals scored by Mohamed Diame and also Nikica Jelavic. That was the only two times that it was used in domestic games. The first appearance came in a Europa League qualifying round game against Lokeren. Now, Hull City had asked Lokeren if they could wear their away kit at home, so Hull City could launch their third kit, or the domestic, the European change kit at Lokeren. So this is what City came out in. The main difference is that no difference to the front of the shirt whatsoever, but the Umbro sleeve text on the sleeves it had to be picked off. Whereas on the shirts we wore in the locker and home game, they were produced without the Umbro word mark on, but the away shirt, the Umbro word mark was just picked off. There were a couple of ones that slipped through the net, and a few players were seen with them on their sleeves. The other thing that's different is UEFA regulations have higher rules for clarity, and they can't use numbers that are made of two colours. That might sound quite strange since it had a club crest in the middle, but that's permitted. But the actual body of the number and the name itself has to be one colour, and because the Premier League numbers have a sort of an outline colour, they couldn't be used. So Hull City got a bespoke number for this one. This shirt was worn by George Boyd in the 1-0 defeat at Lockeren. And what was fascinating about the shirt is it sort of resembled the sort of stencil that will go on the side of a cargo container. And since Hull is a port and the club were travelling to Europe to play games, I don't know if that was the thinking behind it, but that's what I see when I look at this one. So this was only ever used in one game. Sadly, the club lost over the two legs. They lost on away goal, so they didn't progress to the Europa League proper. So we may have seen this more had they have qualified for that, but they didn't. And this was the last time this number set, the letter set, was used on these shirts.
Arrivederci and sempre Forza Hull.